Yes, welcome everybody. Breathing, some preliminary remarks, which I think are well placed every time we meet. Uh, One, no forcing, please. No forcing. We should be lighthearted in our practice. Lighthearted in our practice. If it's not fun, at least if it's not somewhat enjoyable, if our practice is not somewhat enjoyable, then we're just not going to do it. When we're doing practices where we ought to be doing something every day, we will do them for up to a few months, but they will drop off. Certainly if they're not producing any fun or not producing any ease. That is, on the pleasure principle, they are dysphoric. We don't like doing it. We have to force ourselves. That's no good. If you have to force yourself, you're doing something which is conflicting your organism. It's another part that doesn't want to do it. Progress will not be made. That's one thing. Look after yourself. Stop if you have any weird sensations, if you have any tingling, breathlessness, pain, dizziness, headache, anything else, any symptom appears while you're doing the breath practice, stop. Don't breathe through it. Just stop and return to low, slow abdominal breathing. 3, everybody's different. Our requirements are different. What suits you out of all the breathing practices that are available is unique to you. For example, the kind of ratios we use doing breathing practice, breathing in and breathing out. It's unique to you. Don't feel you have to follow what I say or what's in the books. You may find something that puts you at ease, which is completely unique to you. Next point, do something every day, which is possible to do. Establish a micro habit, as we call them. If you can do breathing practice for a minute, great. Do it a minute every day until it's enjoyable. Then crank it up a bit. Just experiment with that. Be your own authority. It is so important. Be your own authority. Find out what works for you and just establish a regular practice, even if it's only a minute a day. The regularity trumps everything else. Once a habit is regular, then you've got it. It's part of your armor even. And the next point is, of course, when you're your own authority, you mustn't be your own judge. Don't judge what you're doing. Don't be critical of yourself. There's no right way. So don't judge yourself against others or some imagined criterion you have in your mind about what's the right way to do things. This is not the same way we did it in the breath workshop or whatever. Non-judgment, just awareness. Non-judgment, just awareness. One more time. Non-judgment, just awareness. Breathing practice is primarily an affair of awareness and sensation. We do a practice, but the principal thing is to be aware of how it affects us. Awareness is primary. Doing is not primary. Awareness is primary. How does this affect me? Always sensing without judgment. Sensing without judgment. This is the key. So, having said those preliminary bits and pieces, as you all know, but I will lay it out because we are recording this session. Breathing can do one of several things. It can stimulate you, it can relax you, it can balance you. We have various ways of achieving those basic aims because we are looking for relaxed alertness. So our breath practice, we can use it for alerting ourselves. We can use it for relaxing ourselves, and we can use it for balancing ourselves because we are looking for a balanced, alert awareness. Not super alert, not super relaxed, just the Goldilocks principle, everything in between. Nice balance for whatever is the right balance for us, which won't be the right balance for someone else. Relaxed alertness. That is the key to everything, to be relaxed and alert. Relaxed and alert. When you're relaxed and alert, you're happy. When you're relaxed and alert, you're happy, basically. Okay, so let's do our picking grapes exercise to provide a little bit of stimulation to get us going into practice. Now, I'm going to demonstrate standing up, but of course, as you know, you can do this sitting down. And I'm going to demonstrate it slowly first, starting with hands on the shoulders. And we're going with a forced expiration. Come up. Do 4 sniffs. We're looking forward. Our hands are up in the air, palms forward, and we take them back 4 times as we're sniffing. Then we do the same breath. We do another 4 sniffs, reaching up to the left, up to the right, up to the left, up to the right to pick the grapes. That's also a good stretch. So, this. Expel the air, back up. I'm going to do 8 sniffs all in a row, 4 with the hands going back, 4 with picking grapes. That gives a stretch to everything and gets our breathing muscles going, and the sniffing stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. Look after yourselves doing this. You can, of course, do it in a chair. I'm going to do 3. And relax. Relax the shoulder. Relax. Check out how you feel. Let's check out your body. Do you feel stimulated, enlivened, or anxious, or some aches and pains somewhere? Let's check that all out. As you return to normal breathing, notice if you're returning to relaxed, diaphragmatic, that is abdominal breathing. relaxed diaphragmatic breathing. And does that diaphragmatic breathing feel relaxed? Notice sensations around the diaphragmatic area, around your abdominal area. No judgment. No judgment. We are making no judgments. We're just noticing, just awareness. Okay. This idea of the relaxed abdominal diaphragmatic breath is so crucial. That is the breath that we should continually be returning to. Is the breath which is a condition of normal balance in the nervous system. If you feel that you're not breathing much in that abdominal area, you're more breathing with your chest area, or it feels tense breathing abdominally, just notice that, no judgment. But you may wish to practice sitting quietly and focusing on your abdominal breath in a relaxed, open focus sort of way. And when I say open focus, not focusing too hard on it. It's keeping your focus nice and relaxed and open. And by the way, that is a topic which I think is very important for us to talk about soon. It'll be one of the topics that I'll have on my list. Good. All right. Let's do some balanced breathing now. We're going to do 6 in, 6 out, or you can do 4 in, 4 out, in which case you'll need to count for yourselves. I'm going to do 6 in and 6 out. I've got my metronome, but we know from past experience that the metronome doesn't seem to come through on Zoom. So I'll be counting in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. So make yourselves comfortable. It's important that you're sitting reasonably upright. You don't have to. You'd be lying down. But it does work better if you're sitting comfortably. Relax the shoulders. The shoulders are always getting tense. We may have to relax our shoulders dozens of times during the day. But relaxing the shoulders is very, very beneficial, of course, for the whole body. Relaxing the shoulders. And starting our practice, I'm going to go for about 3 minutes. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and finish. Relax your shoulders. Check in how you're feeling. Just do a quick body awareness scan. And more importantly, just how are you feeling overall? Good. And of course, I am happy for anybody to chip in and provide some feedback. And clearly, if you don't want to be recorded, I imagine Peter can edit things out of these recordings. If we were meeting in person, it would be a very different situation. I can see how people are breathing. We can have feedback and exchange. So it's much more productive, but we can still do a lot on Zoom. It's good. Relax your shoulders. And check out your body for how your left side feels in comparison with your right side. Resting your hands on your thighs if you're sitting, and check out how is my left in relation to my right. Check that out a moment. Generally speaking, the right side will be more tense than the left if you're a right-hander. It'll generally be the more tense side if you're mixed-handed. If you're very strongly left-handed, your left side may feel more tense. But those are just general rules. Everyone is somewhat different. Okay. So that 6-6 rhythm, that is the default rhythm that suits most people when they do balanced breath. 6 in and 6 out. If you experiment with balanced breath, and say start with 4 in and 4 out, and gradually work your way up slowly at a pace that is comfortable and only slightly pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, then you may go up to 8, 8, 10, 10, 12, 12, or beyond. And you come back down again, say you've got up to 12 in and 12 out over time. Then in your daily practice, you can go up and down the scale. Start with a smaller ratio, go up to 12 in and 12 out, then come back down the scale again. Many people find that a rhythm of 6 in and 6 out, or 8 in and 8 out, is the most comfortable for them. Comfortable in the sense of they're not stretching themselves too much, and it feels good. It's got to feel good. It's not feeling good, no point. Got to feel good. 6-6 suits the majority of people, and 6-6 is indeed the ratio which is associated with the optimal heart rate variability measure, which we know is good for your heart. So 6-6 is probably the ratio which is best for your heart. Okay. Now in pranayama, traditionally, it is breath retention that is associated with extracting the maximum amount of prana or life force from the breath. It is during the retention phases that we extract prana, particularly during the retention interval between inspiration and expiration. And so a cycle of breathing with retention would be 4 in, hold for 2. Retention phase is always half of the inspiration phase. You hear square breathing, 4 in, retain for 4, 4 out, retain for 4. Not so good in my opinion. It's more physiological to do the retention interval at half the inspiration interval. Otherwise, it's too much of a strain on the system. You don't get the full balancing effects of balanced breath if you do the square breathing. And you can see that when you do a heart recording while people are doing the breath practice. It doesn't look so good as with the 4-2, say 4-2 ratio. But that's a story for another day. So we are going to do 4 in, hold for 2, 4 in, 4 out, and hold for 2. Okay, so I shall say in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2. Okay, sitting reasonably straight, relaxing the shoulders. We'll do that for about 3 minutes. So in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, and finish. Good. Relax the shoulders. Check your abdominal breathing. Check how relaxed you are. Check how alert you are.
Can I ask a question?
Go for
I found that a bit challenging, not so much on the in-breath, but on the out-breath. I never felt that I fully expired, and that started to build up tension within me.
it. Okay. There are some breath workers who emphasize that many breathing problems, including pathological breathing problems like asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, are primarily problems expiration. We never properly empty our lungs, and so we never properly fill them. And it's a vicious circle. If you don't properly fill them, you can't properly empty them, and it just goes round in a circle. One good recommendation, I think, for this kind of difficulty one is having with the breathing is to do an exercise where you emphasize expiration.
Mm.
And you can do this best lying down. Now, of course, some people have difficulty lying down and breathing. That's sometimes the case with asthmatics. But you lie down and when you exhale, you pull up the front, you rotate the pelvis. So you pull up the front of the pelvis and you pull your head down. So you're really squeezing out that air. You can do it standing. Probably won't be able to see much. But I'm exhaling. And I'm pulling up my pelvis. I'm rotating my pelvis forward. Then I just let go and allow the lungs to fill themselves as a sort of elastic rebound.
Yep.
So I'm emphasizing that expiration. And you just do that a small number of times, looking after yourself. Any funny symptoms, stop. But really squeezing out the air by lifting up pelvis.
I think had I been able to expire longer, that would have resolved. So like if it had been 6, say 2, 6, 2, that would have, I wouldn't have had that bit of anxiety build up, because I would have been able to get the air out properly in order to get the air in properly.
So on the 4 out, can you expire more quickly?
If I was doing it through my mouth, yes. And probably not through my nose.
Not through your nose. Is that because there's some nasal congestion? Or?
Probably. I also have narrow tubes in my nose.
Okay.
Narrow nasal tubes.
Okay. So, yes, it may be as simple as that, as you say. So you would be better off, of course, and you can do in the same way that you can do 4 in and 6 out. You can do 4 in, hold for 2, 6 out, hold for 2.
Okay.
But the issue of expiration is very interesting, and when we talk about constitutional types, and which we touched on
Yep.
a couple of weeks ago, this is such an interesting issue. Fire types, well, they can easily inspire because they're stimulating the sympathetic nervous system, and that's their thing, the adrenaline side, not the cortisol side, the adrenaline side. So, oh yes, Charles Atlas, I'm taking a big deep breath. Great. They're not so good on letting go or retaining. Vatas, the type we discussed last time, have breathing problems right across the board because Vata is irregular. The Vata dosha in Hindu medicine is fundamentally irregularity. So they have irregular breathing with the sign. Sometimes they're holding their breath, sometimes they're breathing with the chest too much, etc. And Kaphas, those who are prone to, those sociable, very chilled types who are prone to overweight, they have difficulty inspiring. They get stuck in retention because it kind of suits their disposition. Kaphas don't like to move. They like to just sit. Exercise is complete no-go zone to them. They just like to sit. And so their problem is stasis, buildup of toxicity through stasis. And they have difficulty moving the breath. So they get stuck in retention. So we all have our little quirks according to our constitution types. Okay. Now, if you're doing balanced breath with retention, again, many people find 6-3, 6-3, kind of a bit of a sweet spot in their practice. If you do 6-3 and 6-3, say for 20 to 30 minutes, then it is very likely that you will start to feel warm. If you're doing 8-4, 8-4, for example, it's very likely that you will start to feel warm because prana is building up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Hindus would say. You're retaining prana. You're energizing your system. Excuse me. And that's one of the bases of Tumo. The Tibetans out there in the snow with a wet sheet around them and the steam coming off. Not that I've ever witnessed this, I have to say, but the art of Tumo generating heat. And we can do this in a small way just by doing the balanced breath, which is fantastic. And
I'll
it's a
think
very
that
good,
next time I'm cold.
yeah, check it out. And when you get that heat coming in, well, then you're sold on the breath practice. You know you must be doing yourself some good because you're getting hot. You've stimulated heat production in the brown fat mitochondria. You stimulated mitochondria, not by taking a handful of different nutrients, but by breath. That's very cool. So, does anybody think they would have? Look, I know some people will have difficulty with a 6-3, 6-3 ratio. So maybe we won't do that right now, but we will add to the 4-2, we will add a refinement. and that is alternate nostril breathing.
Good.
Now, this then becomes quite a complex meditation. You've got to stay focused, and you've got to try and be relaxed, focused and relaxed, and keep alert, because we're going to be breathing in for 4 through one nostril, retaining, out for 4 through the other nostril, in for 4 through that nostril, after a hold of 2, hold for 2, out, in, hold for 2, out, hold for 2, in, hold for 2, out, hold for 2. Is everybody up for it? Yes. I hear the unanimous reply. Our goal is to get to 6 in, hold for 3, 6 out, hold for 3. Alternate nostril breathing. Now that is quite a complex practice, but it's fantastic because we're doing a whole lot of things all at once. We're balancing, we're retaining prana, and we're stimulating both hemispheres alternately, which is very good for our system as a whole.
Paul,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes,
just
Carol.
a reminder that we finish on the left nostril. That's the rule, isn't it? Yeah.
We finish where we started.
In yoga, you finish on the left nostril. Okay. That's okay?
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you.
We start and finish on the left side.
Yeah.
Because we want to finish, in Chinese terms, we want to finish on the yin side. We want to finish on the more relaxed, spacious side, not on the body energized side. Okay. So I'll count in the same way, but you're visualizing or feeling the air up and down alternate nostrils. We'll just go for a couple of minutes on them. Okay, so starting in 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, finish the cycle wherever you are.
Hey, did everybody, just interrupting you, did everybody still get the recording of that? Because my end dropped in and out a little bit.
I think I still got it.
Okay. All
If
right.
not,
Might be just my end, but we're back again.
My recording is fine as well.
Okay, good. Must be just my end and my dodgy internet. We shall keep going. It's back up again.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. Now, with the alternate nostril breathing, you can, of course, actually block the nostrils when you're retaining. That's a further refinement, but I think it's just easier to, certainly when we're beginning to practice this particular routine, to do it in imagination. So, just to reemphasize, we are balancing, we are extracting prana, we're equalizing the hemispheres. So this is a very, very excellent practice.
Paul, how long would you recommend you do this for?
You're doing it, whatever you can do every day.
Okay. Yeah.
And come out the other end feeling relaxed and alert, or reasonably relaxed and alert,
Yeah.
or at least not tearing your hair out because you've gone beyond what is feeling reasonably good for you.
Yeah. I find, say, 10 minutes seems to be enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's very good.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Between 5 and 10. Yep.
But you can appreciate that through the centuries, yogis who've done these practices as their job. That's your job. You're a wandering mendicant in India. You do these practices, not just the one practice, but various practices, the hatha yoga as well as the pranayama. You're doing it for hours a day. I mean, wow.
Oh.
No, we're just nowhere near that. And how would you be if you were doing it? If you were doing an hour twice a day of breathing practice, how would you be? I mean, you'd be a super person. If you were doing 4 hours, you would. I mean, you would be. Some people claim, of course, that you could do anything. You can heal yourself of anything. You can do extraordinary feats. You don't see that so much these days, but 19th century doctors in India, some were fascinated by the attainments of the yogis. And there are many recorded instances of extraordinary feats, like, being buried alive for hours or days. So the yogis putting themselves in a state of suspended animation, or ingesting poisons without any harmful effect. There's one very famous instance of an Indian guru going to London and doing a presentation at the Royal Society, which is the peak of scientific meetings in Britain, still is, and is being administered cyanide and having absolutely no effect on him whatsoever. And he would do this demonstration repeatedly around Europe. But after his talk and his demonstration, he'd have to do a particular practice to make sure the system had neutralized the cyanide. And on one fateful occasion, he did the demonstration, went back to his room, was distracted in some way by something or someone, was not able to or did not do the practice, and died. So anyway, these are very potent practices, and we just build up our practice on a daily basis. Build up our practice. Fantastic. Now, one more thing before we finish today, and that is an excellent practice for improving expiration. Coming back to that topic, is doing oms. And oms, you have done it before, but not very often. The sacred sound om is made of ah, oo, and And those three elements vibrate the energy center in the abdomen, ah, the energy center in the chest, and the energy center in the head. And so by saying Om, you're vibrating the three key centers in the body. What the Sufis called Paf, Oath, and Paf. So we're just going to do a few Oms. We inhale for 4, but we're doing the expiration on 12. 4 for ah, 4 for oo, 4 for Now this is really stretching it, so don't force yourself. When you run out of breath, stop. It'll go something like this. We'll do it on that note. It's easier to do it on the slightly higher notes. We're not going to sound like the Tibetan monks grumbling in their stomachs, doing those very deep, resonant oms. Let's see if we'll do 3. Now you've got to take a good breath on the in-breath. Okay, so. Good. Now, ideally, a great morning practice is to do 9 ohms, 4, 12, or 6, 18. Great practice. Really, you have to take some breaths. You really take some deep breaths. You really expel air. And so it is very stimulating. The expiration here is not relaxing because you're really energetically pushing out the breath and omming.
Can I ask? So I found that a lot easier to do than the 4-2-4-2.
Ah,
I had
okay.
no issue with that at all.
Okay, so that's a better practice for you. Either doing the 4-6 or doing the omming. The omming, embodies so many different practices and features all at once. The vibration of the three principal energy centers alone is vitalizing and balancing. You're taking a terrific deep breath to really sort of get going, and then you're being very controlled in the expiration, and that really helps expiration because you have to control it. Let's do one more to finish off with. Breathe in. Relax the shoulders. See how you feel. Interesting that Bala, the breath teacher I originally learned from, Sri Balaratnam, he would teach his pupils to get up to the stage where they could do 8-24, 8 in, 24-hour ohms for an hour. And if you do 8-24 ohms for an hour, by the end, you're feeling pretty spacey, pretty darn good. But we're not going to do 8-24 at any stage. Doing 4-12 or 6-18 for a few minutes, that's a great practice. If you can get to 27 ohms with 4-12 over time, that is a great practice, especially to start the day or to finish off a session of meditation, breath practice, or whatever. And next time, we'll do some more, and we'll talk about choosing specific notes to do the on and on. So, any queries or final comments? Okay, good. Sorry.
Yeah, just the seeing we've got a small group. I just wanted to ask you just a question about my practice. I was interested when you were talking about the ratio of inhalation and then retaining.
Yeah.
So you like 4-2, for example.
Yes.
My practice, I combine alternate nostril breathing with 4 in, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. And I love that practice. But I'm just questioning whether that's the right thing, because you were saying that the ratio for the inhalation and the retention is not correct.
So, I'm glad you brought this up, because you said, I love that practice. So that's a practice for you. Nothing I say is gospel. It's all a question of personal preference. And if 4 in, retain for 4, and 8 out suits you, it feels good for you, then that's what you should continue doing. And good on you. I mean, that's a great practice. That's a great practice. I don't like the square breathing. 4 in, hold, 4 out, hold. I think that's just too much of a strain on the system. And as I said, it doesn't look good on a cardiac recording. It's not so smooth. The 4 in, hold for 4, 8 out. That's a great practice. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I really do, but I've been doing it for quite a long time, not
Yes.
consistently as much as I like because of my health. But so my thought was also maybe because I'm so familiar with it, that's what I'm used to. That's maybe why it feels good, because it's what I'm used to rather than what's optimal.
That's an element, certainly. Doing a practice over a long period of time, which seems to agree with one, boosts one's confidence in that practice enormously. That's the same for all practices and habits. And look, yes, you may want to experiment with other ratios, other methods, but no pressure. You're doing a great practice, and you're doing it very regularly. You're doing it with alternate nostril. I mean, I think that's fantastic. Go for it.
I love it. I just love the way I feel afterwards. So that's why I keep doing it, because it feels so good.
And that's the criterion. Does it feel good? Certainly, if when you're starting a new practice, there will be uncomfortableness until it all settles down. But if that uncomfortableness continues, you abandon the practice. You do what is comfortable. You do what you can do regularly. That is the golden rule. Do what you can do regularly.
Can I just ask you just a follow-up question about that? I've been just in the last couple of weeks, I've just been trying to experiment a little bit with extending that, and I couldn't remember exactly what your guidance was about extending, but what I tried was, I thought, okay, I'll just do 6 in, hold for 6, and then out for 16. Would that be a good next step, do you think?
If you were going for 6, I would do 6 in, hold for 6, out for 12.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. Yes. Sorry, I just misspoke. Yeah. So that's what is that what you would recommend?
I would probably recommend doing 5, 5, 10.
5, 5, 10.
There's a tendency to want to use
even numbers.
Even numbers.
Yeah.
But it's not an absolute rule in any way.
Yeah.
You just do what is possible, and
yeah.
that would seem a suitable gradation.
Okay.
But good on you for doing those practices, and just seeing how you extend a little bit. And you could try some ohms, 4 in, 12 out.
I've never done that before, but just doing it now felt really good as well.
It's such a good practice. It's such a good practice.
I'm going to start the day with that from now on, I think.
Start the day with an ohm.
Yeah.
Yes. Start the day with an ohm. With that injunction to you all, I think we'll finish for the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. We'll see everybody in a fortnight.
In a fortnight.
Thank you, Paul.
See you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.